Hi, Chef Justin Watson here with another recipe for entertaining at home. Today I'm going to show you how to make caramelized onion dip. Recipe and equipment list will be below in the description. To start, we will julienne an onion. Here I am using a sweet white onion since the sugars in the onion is what will caramelize. As I am cutting off each end, you will notice I took off a bit more of the root than when we dice it. When dicing an onion, I leave the root attached to help hold the onion together as you're cutting it. In this case, we want the julienne pieces to fall apart. Once cut in half and peeled, lay the onion flat side down. Starting on one edge with the knife slightly tilted, cut thin slices adjusting the angle to match the contour of the onion. When the piece in your hand gets small and less stable, push it over onto the larger flat side and continue to slice it thin. Repeat this process with the second half of the onion. We will set the julienne onions aside for later. Preheat your pan with medium-high heat. Add your whole butter and julienne onions. Spread the onions out to an even layer. I'm using a cast iron pan that works great to hold the heat and gives you a more even heat distribution. As long as you take care of your cast iron pans and keep them well seasoned, they can last a lifetime. I have a link in the equipment list below if you want to pick one up from Amazon. Once the butter has fully melted, I add the salt to season. As the onions begin to caramelize, stir them around so they brown more evenly. I'm using an induction burner here. It uses magnets that heat up the pan, not the surface of the burner, but the pan itself. Because of this, it will only work with metals that are magnetic, so aluminum pans will not work with it, but cast iron works great. A quick test to see if your pan will work is to grab a magnet off your refrigerator and see if it sticks to the bottom of your pan. You can also look for this symbol that indicates it will work with induction burners. Since it uses no open flame, it's safe to use in indoor locations. It is often the burner of choice to use on buffets for live-action cooking, like an omelet station. Once again, if you're interested in purchasing an induction burner, there is a link to Amazon in the equipment list. I sped up the film to save time, but to give you an idea, the onions were cooking for 6 minutes before I deglazed the pan. Once the onions are evenly browned, deglaze the pan to loosen the brown bits stuck to the bottom. I'm using Madeira, but another fortified wine like sherry or Marsala would work just as well. Stir the onions around and scrape the bottom of the pan to pull up all that sweet caramelized fond. Now that the alcohol is burned off and reduced a bit, we can add the beef bouillon and Worcestershire sauce. Bring the liquid to a simmer, stirring every few minutes. Reduce it down by half to concentrate and incorporate all the flavors together. Transfer the onions into a bowl for mixing and allow it to cool to room temperature. Once cooled, add the sour cream and stir to incorporate. Transfer to your serving bowl and refrigerate for a couple hours. The dip will solidify more once it's cooled. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for my next video recipe featuring cheddar queso dip. If you have not already, please consider subscribing so you don't miss anything. Just hover over my chef's hat and hit that subscribe button. Have a question? Leave it in the comments and I will do my best to answer. See you next week, and remember, mise en place, it's a way of life.